I feel like everyone I know has at some point in their life cared about the opinions of others, right? This starts at an extremely young age, and throughout school, throughout sports, just in general, we all want to fit in and we want everyone to like us, and ultimately what that comes down to is, other people's opinions of us and wanting them to have a good thought of us and have a good perception of us and accept us. And I think that that is the worst approach you can take. Now, let me elaborate on this a little bit. I'm not saying you should make everyone hate you, but I think putting too much emphasis on the opinions of others is the root of a lot of our unhappiness. Because number one, you're never going to make everyone happy. It's basically impossible to make everyone happy. So why try and do it? Number two, why prioritize the happiness and opinions of others over yourself and over your opinion? At the end of the day, you spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year with yourself. Therefore, you should prioritize yourself and your opinion over others. And if other people don't like your opinion, who cares? It's your opinion. You're allowed to have one. So I think when you stop caring about other people's opinions, a lot of different things happen. But there is a certain sort of approach that you have to take. And it starts with a mindset shift. You have to have a different mindset than you've had in the past. And all it really looks like is while you take other people's opinions into consideration and you take their feelings into consideration, you do not prioritize them by any means. You prioritize yourself. So shifting your mindset and shifting your perception away from other people and back towards you is how this really begins to work. So what you need to do is focus on some key elements of your life. Number one is your health. You have to focus on your health. You have to be healthy, because if you're physically healthy, chances are you're going to be mentally healthy. And these are two really important things. They say health is wealth, and it's really true. Like, you could have all the money in the world, you can have cars, you can have the best job, but if you're not healthy both physically and mentally, none of that really matters, because you can't really enjoy it, you can't appreciate it, and you can't share it with others. So the number one thing to focus on is your health. The second thing you need to focus on is your wealth. You got to get your money up. You got to focus on building income streams, getting promotions, getting a better job, building businesses, all these different things. But if you don't shift your mindset towards yourself and away from those around you and their opinions, you'll never be able to build all these income streams and gain these promotions and build these businesses. It's possible to do those things while prioritizing other people's opinion, but it's going to take a lot longer compared to if you just prioritize your own opinion and your own thoughts and your own perception of yourself. And if you ultimately stop caring about other people's opinions. And the third thing that you'll be able to focus on, if you truly disregard the opinions of those who don't really matter at the end of the day, is your relationships. This allows you to prioritize time with your family, your true friends, your loved ones, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your partner. If you can focus on that relationship and put all the effort that you were wasting trying to impress others into that relationship that means the most to you, you'll get so much more out of it. You'll get so much more value. You'll be so much happier rather than trying to please the opinions of a bunch of other people who really don't matter at the end of the day. And it's not that those people don't matter. It's just their opinions don't have that much of an impact on you compared to those who are really close to you. So once you start to do all this, right, you've shifted your mindset, you're focusing on your health, your wealth, your relationships. What happens next? You kind of start to walk around with like a different swagger. You have a different sort of confidence to you that just can't be faked. And that's because you genuinely don't care what people think about you. Like genuinely. People say they don't care, but they really do. But if you can get to a point where you truly do not care what other people think about you, and it has no effect on you when they say negative things or their perception of you is bad, you're at a different level. And opportunities and other things start to present themselves to you, and you find yourself becoming more successful and more confident, and more doors are open for you, and you feel better about yourself. And again, these are things that just can't happen unless you have this mindset of not caring about other people's opinions. And when you do shift your mindset and you become confident, you start to learn how to react differently to different things. For example, let's say someone says something bad about you, whether it's behind your back or to your face, or maybe it's kind of a backhanded comment that someone could say it's an insult, might not say it's an insult. Rather than getting offended and thinking about it for the rest of the day and allowing it to ruin whatever else you got going on, you just smile and laugh and walk away, because you realize that person's opinion is so irrelevant to you that it's not even worth spending more than 3 seconds on it. Quite literally, it's a waste of your time to even think twice about that person's opinion of you if they don't like you. And when you start to do this, you just start to change the way you handle any situation, whether it's with a colleague or an acquaintance or some random person in the grocery store, or maybe someone who cuts you off, you know, when you're driving to the store to work. All these different things that used to ruin your day, they just become small moments that you just disregard. Most of the time, you'll just laugh at, and then you'll move on because you don't care. You have more important things to worry about. And people will start to notice this about you, that your mindset is different. They'll notice the way you carry yourself, the way you react to things, the way you handle situations, the way you're always composed, even in the most stressful situations. And this is all created from simply shifting your mindset and teaching yourself to not care about other people's opinions. And this can be difficult to do because our whole lives we're trying to impress others and fit in and be cool and fit in with the cool crowd. So this is a bit of an adjustment. But the faster you can do that, the faster you will genuinely be happy, because you no longer work to impress others. You only work to impress yourself and make the ones who truly love you and the people who truly care about you and are close to you, you want to make them proud. And that becomes your priority. So at the end of the day, the question is, why worry about the opinion of someone who isn't someone you genuinely need or want in your life? And to piggyback on top of that, why worry about the opinion of someone who isn't where you want to be in life? If someone is below you in life and all they do is work their little job and pay their bills and go out on the weekends and party and basically live that normal life that is ordinary and there's nothing exceptional about it, you should picture them as below you. And I don't mean that in a arrogant way, but it's true. If you are trying to get somewhere in life and you're worried about the opinions of someone who is not where you want to be, your priorities are messed up. And you have to evaluate that about yourself. Now, if there's someone who's in the position that you want to be in life and they're talking down to you or saying you're doing something wrong or they want to belittle you, it is what it is. But maybe you should think twice about what they're saying. There might be a little bit of truth to it. There might not be. They might just be nasty people, mean people who say mean things to people. But there could be a little bit of truth behind it. For example, if you're just working your normal job and you're complaining that you don't have enough money, and someone who's doing better than you says, then get off your ass and go get a second job. Some people might take offense to that, but some people might say, wow, that's actually some good advice. And it's coming from someone who's where I want to be in life. Just some food for thought. Ultimately, the reason I wanted to make this video is because you need to stop caring about the opinions of others. You need to get to work on yourself, work on your health, your wealth, and your relationships. And your life will begin to shift the way your mindset shifts, and you'll begin to have a certain confidence and a level of happiness that can't be faked, and your life will start to steamroll in a positive direction, and things will start to come together, and you will feel better. But it all starts with not caring what other people think about you. That's the biggest mistake I think people make, because they're too scared to make others think less of them, so they'd rather play it safe and live life at a bare minimum so that they never make a mistake. And that is probably their biggest mistake they will ever make. That is everything I had for you guys today. I appreciate you clocking in with me. For anyone who is new here, I post all kinds of content about personal finance, personal life experiences, motivational stuff, and just topics that I like to talk about. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and then on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So as I mentioned, I do appreciate you guys listening with me today, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.